Welcome to Safe Space. Today I am with Marigold. So basically, I think we met like maybe 3 years ago or something like that.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, at an event that was organized by my company, and you did an amazing performance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, because I was DJ at that time. So I could just see your performance from behind, but I used to work in the music industry with like well-known artists, and also my sisters was well-known artists in France. And when I saw your performance, I could tell that you was really serious about it, and you were extremely professional at every level.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, every level.
That's so nice of you.
When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, what is she doing here?
And I was thinking the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
To meet you, that's all.
Yeah, that I think that's it. Yeah, that's definitely it. So that's why today I wanted to have you on the Safe Space to know more about your journey, about like what you did, what you're doing, and what is your goal, and whatever you want to say.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, by the way. So my name is Marigold Kingery, and I'm American, first of all.
Oh.
I moved to Canada back in 2005 to marry a guy from Scarborough.
Oh, okay.
A very lovely guy, but we got married, and eventually things did not work out between us.
Okay.
But eventually I decided just to stay.
Yeah.
I stayed because I felt like Toronto was my home.
Okay.
And so I wanted to make my life here, and things after that kind of started changing for me. I had already begun dabbling in music, and I think almost as an escape, I did music with a band, and it was a kind of a small indie band, and we played in venues all around Toronto. Had a lot of fun. Just it was almost like, for me, it was my creative expression, which at that time really was like an emotional time for me.
Okay.
So that's how I think it played out in that type of genre that I was singing at the time. And then I think around the time that you and I met, I decided to part ways with the band.
Okay.
And was doing a few of my own projects.
Okay.
And exploring different things. So I would do like freelance vocals for other musicians around the world. And during that time too, I was discovering myself. I think my true self. So.
Yeah, because I could feel as well that when you were singing, it was like I think that was probably the like solo project that you were doing, and I could feel your soul, because the thing is I don't remember the music. I don't remember what you sing, but what I remember...
I don't either.
But what I remember is that was wonderful. That's the only thing I remember for that moment. It's like, that was wonderful. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But what led you into music? I mean,
I was almost like I would say like a closet musician. So I was very bashful. I was actually very, very afraid of performing.
Oh.
Very afraid. So what, like, for example, when I was younger, I would sing karaoke. My parents had a restaurant and a bar. Okay. So when there were no customers there, I'd go upstairs and I'd perform karaoke by myself. I didn't want any audience, right?
Okay.
And then through university, I got a little bit more courage, and with putting myself out there, we did some talent shows. with a couple of other, girls with me, which I have a good laugh about right now because it was less than professional, I would say, but really fun.
Yeah. You have to start somewhere.
Yes, and then I forgot about it. After you graduate university, it's like, okay, life becomes serious and you're working and doing the stuff. So I put music to the side, and that was just a hobby, fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And I would occasionally do karaoke still with my friends here in Toronto.
Okay.
But I think it's like what I said before when my relationship started kind of tanking.
Yeah.
I needed something to provide more inspiration and more just some meaning, a way of expressing myself, and I don't know, with no attachment almost. So I was back when I actually was engaging on Twitter, and I don't do it anymore. I responded to a random tweet, completely random. Didn't know these people, and they were looking. I kept seeing it on my stream. Looking for lead vocalists for this band that we're starting, and I kept seeing it, and then after I think it was like several days of me seeing the same tweet over and over and over, I'm like, you know what, I have nothing to lose. So I responded, and they said, meet us at this rehearsal spot in Toronto, and I was immediately thinking I was going to be like in a garage, right? And then, but what happened is I ended up down at Rehearsal Factory downtown, and we did some testing of just like in one of the spaces there to kind of jam, do a jam, which by the way, I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, what do you mean, making jam? I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I was really, really new to the scene, and once I got in there, I just really enjoyed the camaraderie and just the creative forces and gelling. Even if we weren't really making any kind of music that made sense, like for us, it was like, this is so great to just unleash this energy. It was awesome, so that's where it started, really.
I remember, because I used to play in bands as well.
You play the drums, I think, right?
I was playing drums. I was singing as well.
Oh, okay.
And because I was singing for my solo project, because because I wanted to go in Japan to do to
be an artist.
Be an artist, but my band wouldn't want to go, so I started a new solo project, and I went there, and then, a lot of stuff happened. It was pretty cool, actually.
I could imagine.
It was really, really cool. But I can. That remind me like all that time when you play and you're like, that's so cool.
I know, because you get a lot of adrenaline too, right?
And you feel invincible. And I think that especially when you play in a band, because for me it's a little bit weird, but because I see music like something even better, like sex, because it's like really like. But maybe not. But it was something like really you are like with different people, but you become one during that moment you're performing, and that's something that I really loved. And especially when I was composing my music and someone played
with it, adding on like another layer, another dimension,
and you're like, oh my god,
I know what you mean, because I felt that same way, and I've never had that before, because before, like even through university or like karaoke, that's kind of how I felt. It was like there's always somebody else like backing me up, or just singing to a track, and it's not the same energy. The energy is completely different, I guess. I would say that the energy is completely different than playing solo, because you don't have anybody to feed off of, and like when you said that you could feel my soul like in my performance, it's like that same idea. I think of like bouncing off other people's auras or energy, and
what gave you the self-confidence from the time you were doing just karaoke to go on stage and sing in front of people?
I have no idea. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified, and it really was just. I didn't really have any self-confidence. I just was doing it just because I wanted to challenge myself. I think, and before I would perform, every time, and this goes back to childhood too. Even if I was performing in a concert or something, for like, I used to play the saxophone like fifth grade,
Okay.
But like if I used to do athletics or sports, I would make myself so like crazy worked up with my anxiety. And it was kind of the same thing with like performing though too. Like I got really anxious, but then it's almost as if like a microphone for me was like a pacifier. So I'm like, okay, I can do this now because now I'm holding a microphone, and I would hold it like so tight,
Gonna break in your hand.
I was like, oh. But then I'd get into a zone and feel better about it and more comfortable.
Okay, I see. It's so basically you just took action. You didn't think so much, and you just went on stage, and because you had to do it.
I mean, I practice. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I practice
of course.
and try to prepare as much as possible, because I do believe in that. But at the same time, like if I would have thought some more and more and more, like I never would have gotten on stage like ever. So I think part of me just wanted to, just to disprove like that bashful side of me. Because I know it's in there somewhere.
But it's like to yourself that you want to prove that to someone? What?
I think to prove to myself.
Okay.
Yesterday I was talking, I posted something yesterday about my Instagram about play. And coincidentally, I was in one of my classes yesterday, and we're doing inner child work.
Okay.
And so we were talking about play and creativity and using imagination. And I think that part of that is, yes, the performance thing was proving to myself that I could do it, and that I have that creative force still within me, and that like I can express it in that way, and it's safe to express it in that way.
Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, because I'm always curious to know like what other artists do to be like ready to have the mind to be ready in their mind to perform. Because for me it's like kind of a natural. It's like for me it's not. Because I consider it's energy management. So, and I embrace all type of energy like sadness, joy, and everything. And in terms of like for the stage, it's kind of anxiety, but I change it into energy to be able to go on stage, and it changed into excitement. Actually, and there is so much excitement getting there that I'm like. I have to go, and and I change into.
But you've always probably been that way, right?
I think not. But me, at the beginning, I wasn't interested into performing, but once I got into it. I had the I don't know. It's because for me I have nothing to lose. And
you don't have that fear. And that's what I think a lot of the people like me have. Like, I think it was just not only the fear, but also being so used to always being in control of all of the elements and all of the moving parts.
Yeah, that's true, because I let go.
Everything.
It's like whatever happened.
And
even if it's I don't have the sense of shame or of judgments.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. Like, who are you to judge me anyway? If I do it, that means it's good and I'm happy about it, and that's it. But so that's why I wanted to know, like, other people, what do they do to
keep motivated,
to keep motivated and to have the energy to, for example, in that case, to go on stage and perform.
It's just, I think for me, also like a big part of it was a lot of people thought, because my marriage was falling apart, and it was very apparent, and it was a form of escape for me. So I was approaching a lot of different things and like reckless abandon. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, I'm not thinking about this anymore. I'm just gonna go and do it, because I'll stop myself if I keep thinking about it. A lot of people thought I was having a midlife crisis, and so what some people looked at as like having a midlife crisis, I was looking at it as like an opportunity to just go and have some more fun, you know, or just in a different way that I'm not used to. So I don't have that same approach that you had, which you're able to recognize, like, creating your energy and transferring into transforming into something else. I wasn't there yet. Like, I'm getting there, and I still have my fears. I still have my shame that I work through all the time, and that is also something I think that keeps me motivated to keep pushing forward. Because, like I said, like, once I get in front of the microphone, it might be a few moments where I am very, very nervous still, and it's kind of lingering. But then it's almost as if, like, if I'm allowing things to flow, like they should flow, and then it's cool. Like, I'm in like that zone. I'm like, yes, I love this. But
I think in a certain way, in an intuitive way, you transform your energy, because you say that your marriage was falling apart, but what you did is, like, you went to something that's gonna give you strength and energy, or at least make you happy.
I think you're right. I never looked at it that way, because it's always easier to see it from the outside, right?
From the outside,
when you're going through it, it's
exactly.
like, oh gosh, what am I doing? Okay, I'm just gonna go with it and hope for the best. So I don't know, like, right now I do a lot of different types of things to keep me motivated. I do like prayer and meditation. I do affirmations, and I think the most benefit, though, to keep me motivated is to see or like hear about the difference that I make in other people's lives, even if I'm not intentionally doing it. If I'm getting kind of praise or positive feedback, that's really rewarding as I'm doing it. I could feel it too, like the vibes are there, like, okay, I like helping other people, and, so that just motivates me to keep trying harder and inspiring other people in whatever way that I can. I'm not saying it's just specifically through music. So.
That's nice. Because now you're not singing anymore.
I sing contract, so
okay.
I don't go and perform anymore, because I just don't have the energy or the. It's just my motivation is not correct anymore.
And and when you see how it is in the behind the scene, it's not fun.
It's long hours. And it's odd hours though too. And I think I made a choice to. Just to not do the nighttime scene, like the clubbing kind of scene, especially now. Well, because you have a daughter.
I don't do any DJ anything.
So it's a different life, and
I want to be home now.
Yes, and I'm like, I just want to be in my sweatpants and home, and if I have to get glammed up, I'll do it once in a while, but I don't want to do it all the time.
No, that's true. Because me, I used to work for like like Japanese artists that I developed in Europe with different like Japanese music label. But like me, it's more the like seeing the ugly side of that I saw that it wasn't really matching. That wasn't what I was looking for, and it wasn't really matching what I want to do, and so I decided to do different thing. And I think it's healthy to change and to try different to have different experiences.
I think so too.
So that's why, because me at the very beginning I wanted to be mangaka, and it's like
an artist.
Making a like comic book with a Japanese style.
Right.
And from that I went into like the music, and and I switched a lot. I even work in the fashion industry. I was like I created a collection for in Montreal, when I was in Montreal.
I was in fashion too.
Really?
For a really short period of time.
Yeah, but that's what is cool, I think. It's like to get new skills in different environments. And so that's why I would like to know, what are you doing now?
Well, right now, that's a good question. No, I'm just kidding. So right now I started going back to school.
Okay.
Which is a huge leap of faith for me.
Yeah.
So I'm taking courses in spiritual psychotherapy.
Okay.
So it's basically, like, when I say spiritual psychotherapy, everybody is so confused. Like, what is that? You know? So it's basically like using all the modalities of like traditional psychotherapy. There's a lot of people, that have, what do you call it? Trailblazed the way for psychotherapy, but it's also taking into account that there's a spiritual component to your mind and your body.
Okay.
So it's like mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
And then seeing how that plays out in the world. So I'm taking those courses, and I am a student, and that is also terrifying, but so rewarding and exciting.
Yeah. But what is terrifying exactly?
It's terrifying because I haven't been back to school for like 20 years.
Okay.
And so
What, you're not 25?
I'm 26. So I started going to school when I was 1. No.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not 25 anymore.
Okay.
But so just relearning strategies of how to like retain information.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And this is it's like a master's levels program too. So it's not even like a regular university thing.
Okay.
So it's more experiential.
Okay.
Like, you actually have to use your knowledge. It's not just taking notes. You have to kind of actually,
experimentation.
You like working in dyads, like working, in small groups.
Okay.
Things like that. So it's fun. It's really fun. It's really great. Not only is it really great to have a diploma at the end of it, but it's great because I actually believe that everybody needs to do this work because it's a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah, for sure. Because me, I believe that everything starts inside. And for like even happiness and everything is like a work that you have to do on yourself. Because nothing outside gonna make you happy if you're not already happy at the beginning. And same for like so that's why I think that you need to be able to comfort yourself, and that's not easy. I guess that's not an easy concept, but once you get it.
Well, to comfort yourself, just to face.
To comfort yourself, to be able to praise yourself. When you achieve something, even if it's a small thing, even if it's like you just made a cake and the cake was good, I think it's small, but
hey, if I made a cake and it was good, that's an accomplishment. I'd be praising myself.
So that's why. it doesn't need to be like a huge accomplishment, but I think that if you can do small accomplishment and you can praise yourself when you do those things, it's gonna give you more self-confidence, and maybe you're gonna want to try to go out of your comfort zone, and little by little you're gonna see that, actually I can. Before I couldn't do that, but now I can, and maybe I can do this. And you try, and you don't.
There's a post that keeps going around in the social media. It says, this is your comfort zone. And this is you. Like, the magic is here. It's outside of your comfort zone, right? And it's true, because like I feel like I've personally reinvented myself so many times. And a lot of people that I know are not comfortable with that. They're either looking at you like, okay, what's going on with you? And
why do you think?
Why? I think because society is really caught up of like a really linear way of living, and having to follow the steps to achieve your success. There's still that stigma of like science and math, and that's now you gotta go make the money, and then that's your definition of success. Have some kids, and then you're whatever,
house, dog,
the usual things. So if you're not following that path, there's a stigma of there's something wrong. There's maybe there's something you should do to get back in that box.
And why don't you try to fit in that box?
Me? I have tried. And it doesn't work because I know I'm not happy. The other thing though too is because of what you were saying earlier, is like basically the happiness, you have to be happy with yourself. And it doesn't matter what we collect or how much money we make or what education or degree that we hold. Gathering things around you aren't going to make you happy. So
no, for sure. That's cool. But you see, I knew you were special. Seriously. So that's why I was like, because for the safe space, I'm inviting like people that. But it's open to everyone. Like if you send me a message and you can come and we can talk, But now I'm spotting like people that because we don't really know each other, but we met once and we were like in touch on Instagram. But I felt like she's special, and I wanted to know more, and I wanted you to share that with everybody, everyone in the place.
Thank you.
Because it's important to meet people who are like how can I say? To meet people who have a different perspective compared to what society offers. Because what society offers, it's not necessarily connected or matching your what you need to reach your potential.
I think that's changing though, and it's changing slowly because I think like
because of you and me.
Like seriously, like having conversations like this are so important because, and that's why I started my own project for that same reason, is because I felt alienated when I was going through my changes. So having found value in finding people who understand. And when I say that, not going to therapy, that's totally different, But I'm saying that it's slowly evolving, and if you take a look at like all the things that are happening in the world right now, there's a lot of bad stuff, but there's also a lot of really great like warriors out there who are trying to spread positive messages and trying to empower everybody as much as possible.
And that's true that there is a switch happening right now.
It's slow. I think it's like a step-by-step kind of process, because
like nature, you know.
Nature is exactly, that's a perfect thing, and it goes in seasons, so it just it takes time to make that evolution. So
but it's gonna be strong, and it's gonna stay.
I
think like a tree, you know, they come from the ground, they get their way through darkness to go to the light, and after they grow and they become like big and strong, with like strong base and everything. That's
right. So it's got to start somewhere.
That's why we're doing that.
That's why we're doing this on the fly.
Exactly. That's why we're doing that, because I think I really want to show to people that you can have a conversation with someone and and open your heart, be authentic, and we don't need to pretend anything. And just like be ourselves, and sharing things and learning, and
it's rewarding. I think, you know. And it doesn't even have to be like in front of a camera.
Exactly.
You know? Sometimes
the
most rewarding conversations that I've had are just with perfect strangers.
Exactly.
Like just by accident, you know? So, No,
that's the magic.
It's true.
That's the magic. Yes. And tell me more about your project.
My project is called Light Your Vibe. So it's an online project, and I'm just interviewing a lot of different types of individuals who are kind of geared towards a spiritual awakening, or going through it, or transitioning. Basically, people are just trying to make like positive changes. And a lot of the times along the way, they'll find that there's a connection to like a higher source that's involved, or help them make the changes.
Wow,
so
that's cool.
So it's just starting. Literally just starting. Now I'm just kidding. No, it's just starting. So I'm interviewing all types of people, and connecting with people from not just here in the city, but also around the world, in different countries. So
that's cool.
It is really cool, and it's cool. Because it's great, because what you were just saying is that like we can find common ground, just through that little bit of connection. And that's what I'm finding with these people. I'm finding in different, like in Europe or wherever, you know.
Exactly, because once you put your project outside and you show your values, people are gonna be able to identify you and be like, oh, I want to do something with her, like our values matching, or what you're doing is great and we want to contribute to it, or whatever.
It's like bouncing the energy, and and
that's I feel that it's really important to do that. But for me,
no, I do too. But I was afraid for a while, just because of that fear of judgment, and what's going on, and this is a change. It's a big change.
You crazy?
No, I guess a little bit of that. Just not knowing exactly how to flesh things out. But I know that it was inside, and I needed to make it happen. It was like one of my callings, I think, is to try to help pull different types of people together, and to support others.
And where does it come from, that
the passion?
That passion to help people, or
gosh,
like in your family environment, or I don't know, or friends, or
I wouldn't say that. No. I think the passion for me, like, I really do feel a connection to the divine. So for me, it's a very spiritual experience, and I've had my own awakening phase that I can't deny it. So if I get glimpses into creativity or something like really amazing and imaginative, I just know that that's not for me. That's like I know that's being given to me by, source, or, my angels, my guides, my peoples, my peoples you can't see, so I accept that there is more than just our physicality here, so that's where my passion comes from.
That's interesting. But you still give yourself a little bit of credit, because because I believe as well that there is things that comes, but sometimes you let them go,
Oh, I know.
And
I know.
And I think that takes some. I don't know if energy would be the right word, but that takes something that you actions.
Yes.
You have to take the action to make the thing happen.
Exactly.
And so that's why I think that you could give yourself some credit, because you could have let go. I do
give myself credit, and I don't mean to say that I don't.
Yeah.
I just give the majority of the credit.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think a lot of the individuals, and myself included too, what we found that we've had in common is that usually there's some big awakenings that have to happen, because things will knock on your door, and that the opportunities will knock on your door, or say you're having a really a poor lifestyle and it's not the healthiest thing, and then something really happens, you're sick, or you caught a major illness or an accident, something major has to happen. And that was for me, I had a major illness.
Yeah.
And so in between of having a marriage that was failing, I was also diagnosed with cancer.
Oh.
So I thankfully got past it.
Yeah.
But that was huge.
Yeah.
And that is a reality check. Okay, wait a second. What am I doing here? What's going on? And that it's caused from something. It's not just genetics. It's stress, or So made me force me kind of to reevaluate my values, my morals, what am I doing with my life, am I happy, those types of things. So.
Yeah, I think going through cancer, that's kind of serious.
Oh my God, true. That delivery literally was so funny.
I know, but
sorry.
But at least
it was though.
You can laugh about it now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was shocked because for me, I thought I was a perfectly healthy individual. I was doing sports. And, I was here in Canada already, and it was this rude awakening. And then suddenly I had to rethink of priorities, and I think more than anything, the idea of having a disease was more of a mental game than the physical effects.
Yeah.
More than anything. And I think the more that I was getting down on myself for all the possibilities and making myself crazy of what could possibly go downhill, it's that perspective, like you're saying. The perspective is so key, because at the beginning I kind of surrendered. Okay, well, fine, this is my way of saying whatever, that was my attitude, and I was upset, and I'm everybody, I was lucky to have people around me at the time though to motivate me, to keep me kind of uplifted back into a frame of mind that was healthy again. Because I was falling into a depression. So I think once we're able to keep that higher perspective, one of hope, then that really just helps that part of healing, that physical healing, to go a little bit faster, and smoother. And even the times where I wasn't feeling great, I could still see, when I was going to the hospital to to check with, you know, to exams, and you have to wait in that room, you know. So depressing, by the way. It's so depressing. But I could see that there were people around me that were worse off than I was. And that's like the perspective that I took, like, wow, okay, I'm not as bad, or, you know, I'm making it out to be, but I'm not. So I think, having like overcome that stage was like such a triumph for me.
But was it because usually cancer is in people's minds is connected to death, so were you at a point where it could become like life-threatening, or did you like fear about like death, or that something goes wrong, or I don't know?
I wasn't fearing death. I wasn't fearing that part, but but it sure doesn't help when you have like family members who are like kind of assuming you're going to die. You know? I'm like, okay, I'm not. You know, this is not yet. So I was lucky enough to be able to have opportunities to save myself surgically and have some good outcomes. But if anything, I would just say that it was life-altering in the way that, like, it made me want to live better. And to and yes, there was like an essence of like suffering, of like an idea of loss. Like for me, like it was like a huge loss. But I don't know, like at the same time, it's, you know, after everything was said and done, I just like had to surrender again to like trusting that everything is going to be okay. You know, I'm not laying on my deathbed. I'm just not. You know. So,
but it has been a switch in your mind that make you.
I think so. I think so. It's hard to sort it all out because everything was. I felt like everything was happening all at once.
At the same time.
And it's very complicated. Emotions, you know, emotions are very, very complicated. And it comes from so many different places in our you know, childhood or whatever, different stages of our life, you know. So
now that's interesting, because me too, I had a life-threatening experience.
Did you? Wow.
That made a huge change in my life. But I don't want to talk about it in all video because I thought.
That's okay.
But since you're here, and it's because once I was because in Japan I was kind of a celebrity, and I was working on a TV show.
Oh my god! I'm sitting with a celebrity and I didn't even know it. And because I was working in a huge primetime TV show there, and we were shooting in Africa, and we were in the savannah, and somehow I came face to face with a lion. Whoa!
Like a real lion.
I know it's a real lion.
I mean, not in a cage.
Yes. So what? Okay.
Yeah, but the thing, it's like I had like a lot of things came to my mind, and that make me understand what was very important for me in my life, and I realized that it was like being with the people I love. That was what mattered. And me too, at that moment I didn't fear death actually, and at all. I was thinking about my family basically. I was like, oh, they're gonna be sad if I die. But I wasn't like fearing like, oh
So wait a second, did it attack you?
No, it was walking and following us like in the same walking in the same direction, and after he disappeared in the bush, because he came out the bush and we saw him, we were like, oh my god. Like I'm about to be famous and I'm gonna die.
This is bad timing.
Yeah, super bad timing. I was like, no.
That's funny.
Yeah, and since that event, I do what I want to do right now.
Yeah.
I'm not like thinking, oh, I'm gonna do that tomorrow or next time or next year.
Yeah.
Because having that experience, like surreal experience, I'm like anything can happen. You don't know. You never know. You never know what's gonna happen next.
It's so funny that you mentioned that encounter with an animal, because I think it was on the radio yesterday. I don't know what station, but they were talking specifically of how like wild animals, so your case was a lion, this case was, I think it was an elephant. It recognized that like the person wasn't out to get them, and that the person had the confidence to stand up for himself, and just like you weren't fearful of that, and I think they recognized that, and maybe just was like, okay, we're gonna go find somebody who's scared. We're gonna eat someone who's scared. So that's really cool. It's cool that you had that encounter and that it was that powerful.
Exactly, because that made me realize a lot of things, and and give me more focus on what I want to do, and the dream that I have, I want to achieve. And but before that, I was already set. But with that experience, it was even like more like crazy.
Wow, that's really neat.
But that's interesting to see, like to discuss with people who have like that kind of experience, like an experience that changed their life in a way, like, because cancer, even if like it's not always deadly, but it's still like doctors don't really know.
That's the thing, is that because like I was saying, it was more of a mental process, the mental game. It's the case of not knowing is what gets to people the most and drives us crazy. Okay, what do you mean you don't know what's next, or you don't know if it's contained, or you don't know where it's going? Like that's the hard part, I think.
But basically fear always come from the fact that you don't know what's gonna happen next. And so that's why I think that was a major experience to really have like that, because you really don't know, and it could affect your life.
The cancer?
And but in life there is like small things that you don't know how. For example, you're doing your project, but you don't know how it's gonna happen.
I think I'm just learning to trust better. And trust that the right people will come to me, and trust that I will, get the right inspiration, have the right amount of passion still for the project, and that's what it is. Like, I'm learning to trust. Like better.
That's good. Learning to trust. And that leads to less fear.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Because we can't have the answers for everything. Our brains are not like prepared for that at this moment.
And I think that's okay, not to, when you don't know things, it's for me it's an opportunity to learn, and to have new experiences.
And that's it becomes exciting, I think. Because if you knew everything, then what's the point? You already know how you're supposed to feel, or you're gonna like precondition yourself to the circumstances. But then as you're doing it and learning it as you go, I think it's more exciting this way, because although there might be some hiccups along the way, it's like for me at least, like how I learn is through experience. Like I'm more of a doer rather than a thinker than having to do it. I'd just rather learn it and do it all in one.
Yeah.
It's it's just in my personality, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
just get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I think having like idea and dreams, that's very good. That's important, but doing, like taking actions to make that happen is like something that major.
It is major. Yeah. Because there's risk.
Yeah.
Right. And nobody loves to fail. So, but the other risk is you could succeed.
Yeah.
So it's the perspective. I think perspective is so important. I'm being reminded over and over again about the perspective in so many ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, perspective for sure.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say something I forgot. It's okay.
Was it? That's okay.
Yeah.
Was it about my?
Oh yeah, I remember. It was because I think that especially since with that experience with the lion, like when something doesn't go the way I want, as long as I don't die, I'm okay.
That's usually the case.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, let's try everything.
Yeah, what doesn't kill you
and make you stronger.
Makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Or else get eaten by the lion.
Exactly. So.
But the lion could have been giving you the courage. You think about that.
Yeah, me, it's how I take it actually.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, it's like as if he told me that, okay, I give you one more chance and I let you go, but you do what you have to do right now.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's how I take it.
Okay. It's a good thing that you did that then.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And do you have a last word for the people watching us and I don't know, want to know more about you and if you have some advices or whatever you have in mind?
I have a lot of advice to give, but I don't know if I really should be giving it at this point. I would just say, just continue to be your authentic self and to keep on moving forward. And if you have to do some work in between on yourself, give yourself permission to do that, because self-care and self-love is absolutely important and so needed. And that's all. And thank you.
Okay, that was a good ending. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay.